the question is, why would I take this? Why? There's 3 parts to this question. 3 elements. High, low, bears no significance. Demand coming in, well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a spring and we have high volume. Yeah, that's good. That's one part. Anything else? The background, what about the background specifically? The bullish background, what's bullish? Big bar to the left. What, this? It does play a little bit of a role, but not significant enough. I'll tell you what I see. It's this whole reaction. Let's go through this whole reaction. Okay? This bar, good volume coming in. Agreed? But what does it achieve? Nothing. Interesting. That's not bullish. It's not bearish. I know it's a down bar and we see supply, but what does it achieve? Question mark. So it's neutral to me, that bar. This bar, look at the volume. Look at the spread. What's coming in here? A lot of buying. Yeah. It stopped any downside progress. And we make a high, 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 low, and high close. Yet we close off the high, so I still know there's supply. But wouldn't you say on this second bar that buyers actually make more of a stand? And they absorb a lot of that selling pressure coming down. Effectively, it's a higher bar. Yeah, that's bullish. In my eyes. Yeah, I still see supply. I'm not buying it. Don't get me wrong. But there's a very good attempt to hold. Then we break on down here. And what do you think of this bar? What do you notice? Well, again, it's effort versus result, isn't it? Look at that bar there. Slightly lower volume, but look at the size of the spread. So we have buying coming in. So we get that bar that doesn't do anything. Then we get good buying coming in. Then we see some buying. Then we get that bar, which has ease of movement too. So we see a bit of ease of movement. Then this bar here, we do see a bit of selling. In my eyes, that's the only kind of negative bar we see. Now, I know that some people are going to be thinking, the only negative bar you see? Well, that's a big down bar. That's a big down bar that breaks down here. Yes, but that bar doesn't achieve anything. And this bar is effort versus result and slams into support. Then we get ease of movement. Then we see a bit of selling. Then, what do you think of this bar here? Look at the volume. Look at the spread. What do we see coming in? 3 times the size of spread, 15% lower volume. There's a lot of buying coming in. Again. And then we dip under to reverse and close firm above there with a pop in volume, which is the spring. So then when I see this action coming down, although it looks terrifying to some traders, but when you do the bar analysis, that's the only bar really tells me there isn't a great deal of selling pressure in the market. And in fact, you can even argue that that bar is actually very valuable to us, because when we see this ease of movement bar over here, then we get this bar. That's the bar that tells us, well, if this is a mini sign of strength, because we're holding a support here, this bar is a test bar, and that test bar tells us that there is still a bit of supply. Agreed? Because we can tell from the high volume, it's not a no supply bar, is it? No supply bar will be a very little narrow spread bound bar. So that tells us there is a bit of supply, although it's not overt. So then I'm thinking, well, are we going to hold here? Then we get the effort versus result, and then we get the spring. So that is absolutely wonderful. But the icing on the cake here, guys, is... Ready? What is it? What is this play? Yeah. Classic. The classic back up to the edge of the creek. There's our trading range. That's the low. We hold the high low. We have this, well, which we traded here. That's our sign of strength. We go, okay, we come back down and we're just retesting here. And that's the backup. That's, you know, that fulfills our criteria for the backup. And what's all this over here within a trading range? What does it build? Causality. Needless to say, I held on to this for a long time, and there were many positions to add. And isn't it wonderful? Like yesterday's trading, the stars are lying down here. and the stars are lying down here. Now, according to my system and the way I size, there's 3 elements that told me to go very, very, very big here. The approach, it's a spring, and it's a backup. And it's a spring test of the backup. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal trading, isn't it? Thank you very much, market. Isn't it nice to receive this kind of price action? And if you're not trading these, you really have to ask yourself some questions. Does everybody see these? Clear as day. Be honest with yourselves. When you're analyzing this, I think one of the students says, but it broke this support level along the way. And he was thinking this is an upthrust. Well, that's just the wrong way to think, isn't it? Like, you just have to detract that. And the reason why we have this here, for those who have the climactic course, you know, when we have these aberration bars, you draw the highs, you draw a structure from the highs, lows, and the close. But this is too much of a zone, a 10-point zone. You don't really want that anticlimactic bars. It's too high. It's too rich for the ES. You want it around between 1.5 to 3 points. Then it provides value, but I'm going off on a tangent here. You have to just discount that. Just globally, what is it? Well, we're coming back to test the trading range. Fantastic. And when we do the bar analysis, everything is bullish in this reaction. Although we're coming down, I just don't see any negativity apart from that one bar. This bar here, it is a bit negative. It tells me supply is still there after the mini sign of strength. But then we receive new information here and here. Beautiful.